Hey, it's it's me and you again. Um, I guess I should clarify something before I keep making these. If I'm ever saying anything negative or bad or sounds downright like, like horrible to say to someone, I'm not saying it to you, right? I'm saying it to me, right? It's not to you. Me will know this. When if he gets to watch these in the future. But they're not at you, right? They're at me. So don't worry about it if I say that stuff, bad stuff. Don't take it personally. It's not towards you. Um, it's towards me. So don't worry about that. Anything nice, positive, it's probably towards you. 100% towards you most of the time. Uh, so yeah, don't ever think that I'm ever talking shit about you. No, you are fine. That's me who I'm talking to. Anytime I'm talking crap about someone, it's mainly gonna be me. So don't worry about it. Anyways, uh, I wanted to talk about. Uh, I guess I hope you're doing okay. Like even that, see, that's towards you, not me. Right. So yeah. So think that if it's positive, you know, that was an example, right? I hope you're doing okay. You, not me. So yeah, probably say this again a couple times, but yeah, that's the point. Uh, okay, what was I going to talk about? I guess the point of like talking today was I wanted to talk about zombies. I guess I wanted to talk about Call of Duty zombies as a whole,
Do you want to dance?
and I feel like I could just make a whole like 3 hour long video called like "What is zombies?" and like what is it in like a Call of Duty sense? Like what's the perfect zombies and what makes it so good and what do we mean by it's not this? Like what are the standards that we're like missing out? Like what do we how do we decide what a map is good or bad? Like what are the defining factors? I feel like that's fair to like that's a fair thing to like estimate of like trying to understand where people get these assessments of, especially in the newer Call of Duties.
Smooth.
Like what do people think or
Too
take
smooth.
for a good map in Zombies terms? What is a great Zombies map? How could Treyarch or any Zombies Call of Duty team really make nail the formula for having a quote unquote good Zombies map? Like how is that possible? And it's interesting that many other companies in the Activision have taken a spin at it, zombies, and they've tried to crack the code themselves of what makes good zombies. And the thing that like, or like, what could zombies be is also another thing. Um, so I feel like if we want to go into that, I feel like I'd have to start with like World at War, right, where it all started. And admittedly, World at War wasn't even supposed to like the zombies mode in that was absolutely bare bones, and it was very cool way of introducing such a new game mode, a new advancement of like uh, just like a new game mode introduced introduced into Call of Duty, which we've never seen before, right? Call of Duty used to just be like an army shooter, and now you're adding like this, what? And it adds to that. It started off as like a horror in a sense, in that when you were introduced to the zombies mode, it was after beating the campaign, after which everyone's gonna do, right? So it was very easy to like. It was very greatly well introduced to the zombies, and when you were introduced, you were like, okay, that was a cool campaign, great campaign, awesome campaign. What's this? And it was just started off with an unknown zombie just running at you, and you're this soldier pinned to the ground, and you're like scared of what's like coming at you. Because you're like, what is that? Like, it's running at you weird. You're like, what? And then it hands in, and bam! Screen goes dark, and then you wake up as, a soldier in Nocturne Tone, and then you're like, okay, shit, what is this? And then you realize you're playing. This is a game mode called Call of Duty Nazi Zombies, and it's brand new, introduced, with the only goal in mind is to survive for however many rounds you can, given the tools in your arsenal with the mystery box. And yeah, that's it. Just the guns on the wall. See how long you can last, And that was it. That's as far as you got with that, is survival, survive and survive, We build barricades, the gritty atmosphere and horror of the map. Like you're in an abandoned, who knows where, like an abandoned war site or whatever. And your whole point is to like try to. There's no other goal, right? So everyone thought that was kind of interesting, right? It's kind of cool, scary, and interesting for the time being. And then it kept going. They started adding more because people kind of thought it was cool, right? It's a cool. The atmosphere was great, it was scary, and they're like, okay. The Treyarch team didn't really think much of the game, which is why majority of the game's maps in that game were reused assets from the campaign. Like a majority of the maps were. And eventually, after like after the formation, after that, they had new maps like Proctor, like just kept going, right? Like they added to expand more. They thought, okay, well, what if players want to last a little longer, right?
Don't fuck with me.
Players want to last long. They add these perks. The perks help them out. Perks were a catchy, iconic symbol of the bottle cans. Every can had its own signature tone of song that kind of let you know like what they did and what they had, and the jingles were awesome. I think my favorite jingle to this day is probably Juggernauts. Like it's so iconic, and it's one of my favorites. And yeah, so then they introduced perks, and it's like, okay, perks help you, give you a standing chance. They realized you don't really have that much to help you out get to high numbers. Like, okay, we want to survive, we want to get high numbers. How do we get it with just weapons? All right. They added Pack-a-Punch. Make your weapons stronger. Make it last longer against the zombie. Okay, cool. Machine Pack-a-Punch is then thrown in there. Again, as the maps develop, the areas are just as gloomy and horror, like an insane asylum. And mind you, story-wise, we had no clue if there was a story for the zombies at all at that point. For us, it was just a cool extra game mode. But Treyarch inevitably had something up its sleeve, with sooner or later adding the giant, or not the giant, but damn, dude, not dude. Damn, I forgot the map, but you can't have the one where it had pack. So like stuff like that was like interesting. Like, okay, we got a storyline now. That's interesting. So now, well, who's in this storyline? Who are we like playing as throughout the story. Like, went from like we go to a swamp, we go to all this stuff. Like, why are we going through all these places? And the storyline was led through the maps, right? We didn't know, like, on the surface, like, it's the same point. The maps tell the story, and we find out where you are, where you're going, why, and all that stuff. Like, Richtofen took all those characters throughout those places to pick up, these things, and these things to help him with his project, the pyramid or whatever, right? They had a purpose, right? They had a story thing. To us, it was like, what? But then, right, like that was World War, and then like Black Ops, like it really kicked up, like what we were doing, and then we got Moon, right? That was like the big conclusion, and with each map having like excellent storytelling of like why we're there, and a great surrounding environment of wow, we're in this like the theme or horror of it is still there because we started from still like an abandoned like thing in the middle of nowhere, right? And it's like so it kind of kept making sense or kept getting better in a sense of like oh the atmospheres kept changing, but it still kept that dark grittiness about zombies, and then it kept going as far as to go into space, and that was insane for everyone. Like, wow, we're in space now, and like where else could the story go? And it's like, okay, like everything was going great. Like, given the maps themselves aren't like pitch perfect, but it's like zombies as a whole. That was how it was laid out, right? They understood what they were doing at some point, right? Like, okay, story takes them to the maps. Maps have themes, what they have to have elements. You can't just drop them somewhere and they'll like it, right? It's because now we're making the story, so the map's gotta coincide. And we gotta have it make sense, right? So they're going to the moon because of this extravagant plan that Edwin has, Richtofen, and even them like meeting like all the main characters we have. Although as like deep as it might be, it's really like it started off as just 4 character assets that we like that you see in the campaign reused as player models. like you can see Richtofen's like player model be used in the campaign. Same with same with Nikolai, same with Tank. And it's like Takio, I think Takio as well. But
And now we wait.
it was like the combination of 4 stereotypes, right? And it's like that was their whole premise of like giving them voice lines of like, all right, well, how can we get people attached to the characters because they're in their story, right? And they gave them like all quirky stereotype voice liners, like the typical American, the drunk Russian, Richtofen, the German, the Japanese soldier. Like it's all there, and they were all based off stereotypes. They all were based off that was their whole premise in the beginning. And then made them really funny cliche characters, and it was cool, like mad scientist does crazy thing, but the crazy thing that they're doing was pretty insane, and that we actually go along the journey with this mad scientist, and he does the craziest thing ever, trying to take advantage of controlling the debt, right? And it's through like Element 115 and the Germans doing experiments and all this stuff that they actually are able to contain it. And then it's like, then once they contain it, like Richtofen wants more power over it. It goes on and on and on, and then they're basically just basically helping Richtofen towards the BO1 and make the decision to finish, like all this stuff. And that was it, BO1 ends with you either blowing up the moon. I think it just ends with you blowing up the moon, right? Blowing up, not the moon, blowing up Earth which is a crazy plot. It was crazy Easter egg. And it was just cool to think, like, wow, we blew up the Earth. And it's like, wow. And then, and like, it was all going well. Like, in terms of gameplay, like, zombies was, people would say those were, like, the quote-unquote good times. But if we look at it, like, that's the formula that we've created now, right? And now it's just, they pretty much have the formula laid out, so now it's just all about writing, I guess. And where they can take it, like where they can write the theme or the story to go further. How can they keep this going? You know, how can they make this make sense to a story and still make it make sense to like the community of like where they're at, so they're not just like, oh, we're just completely abandoning those characters, because they couldn't. We couldn't abandon those stereotype characters that almost everyone grew up with. So it's like, it was gonna be hard to like, you know, just be like, okay, well, we're done with them, right? Like, you know, they had to involve them back, but they also tested the waters with how much not they can get away with, but like how they could develop them back into the story. Because as much as the stereotype characters were loved, it's like, how do you get them back from the moon, right? And it's like, I don't even think like Richtofen really left them an escape like to do it, so it was really just up to the team to figure it out. So then they said, screw it, we'll just start with the perspective of going from people on Earth, right? Because not only does blowing up the Earth lead to more like room to expand, it's like, wow, okay, we can see how the Earth's going. Like, what happened? What's the aftermath? How, like, who's left? What happens, right? So many questions, right? It just kept going, it kept building, and it kept getting crazier and crazier with possibilities. And then we got the transit crew. And the transit crew wasn't as favorited by the community, I think, in the beginning. I don't, like, they met in the same, like,
Max armor.
They met similarly to how the original crew was sent. Like, these guys were actually planned and sort of like how they were met together.
Give me something good.
And it's just 4 survivors basically that end up meeting each other.
Please, you're embarrassing yourself.
Like, yeah, like that's how it ends up, right? Like, it's 4 survivors on Earth that just so happen to meet each other and meet at the right time. And I think they could get away with it, and I think that's probably where it was wrong, because it's like, I think they thought they can get away with it twice in a row, versus giving them a bit more depth, maybe. But I see why they just did that again, because they thought, well, we worked the first time. We kind of just threw these guys in, so why not try it again with just another 4 random survivors? And it especially hurts because people who love those other characters were probably looking forward to playing as them, and it's like, they're not there, right? So it's hard to get, like, if you want to reattach people to a new crew, you're gonna want to start writing some stakes or something more to those people than just you know, like they're adding character. Like, you have to add some more story to them, which is fair, right? And I guess it's not like Transit Crew never got a fair, I guess, judgment because they were another crew being added. And then versus, like, and it's crazy to say that these cliche characters, these stereotype characters, got more better received, because it's like we each kind of knew their goals and not like what they were about. Like, Dempsey, although an all-right American, like, as stereotypical as he was, he had his goals of, like, he was even iffy about Richtofen. Like, that's his thing too. Like, he doesn't like Richtofen because that's his whole thing, was like nostalgia, right? but he knows he has to work with them in order to like benefit like his ass getting saved and possibly saving the world from the zombies. So that's like,
One bullet well placed can change the world.
and you would think that'd make the same amount of sense with the same four survivors in transit. They're just four people who want to live, but they probably won't save the world. Maybe that's not on their mind, but they just want to go back to a normal world. They're trying to do the best they can. And I feel like that if that was a bit more emphasized and throughout the story with the characters a bit more, I feel like Transit Crew could have got the same respect, if not more, than the OG characters, or be on the same level at least. Understanding that they're characters that just wanted to get back to normal because their world was taken from them by these four random characters that they have no clue did it, and they're just trying to make sense of what's happened and like the like what's going on. And the character like Russman was a perfect example of what that happened. Like what
Bonus
Russman is like the wise guy, and he's like trying to make
When
sense
you're
of
dealing
it.
blood, there must be rules.
And then there's like Marlton, who doesn't really make like they're all just survivors trying to like like I don't know. I feel like if they added more of that sense of like they're just trying to get by, right? Like I feel like that would be pretty cool. And the whole story excuse, the whole story is pretty much thought like Samuel has a voice in his head, and they just trust the fact that that voice is gonna help them and help save the world from whatever it is, which makes sense why they would listen to Sam in some sense. I feel like if we got a map or two of them, maybe the first map of them debating, well, yeah, all of them like don't really like Stuhlinger. I guess that is also part of it, because he just claimed like, how could they believe a psychopath, a voice in his head? Like, how could they believe that? But it's all they have. It's all they have to do. It's all they have. So like they have to, right? They end up getting saved. Like all this stuff makes them kind of find more credibility in listening to Stuhlinger. So it's like, okay, we'll listen to you. And then they do all this stuff, and they like I don't know.
Any last words?
The maps themselves that Black Ops 2 went through were pretty fun to me on paper. I think the biggest thing that BO2 suffered after a while was repetitive of gameplay, and I know I was like, I will never understand nerfing weapons in a PvE game mode. Like I don't understand that. Like why? Like I get it. You don't want it to be too broken to where someone's like not having fun, or like it's not challenging anymore, but like nerfing weapons, like I don't know, like because they nerfed like the solidifier in BO2, I don't know, like why, you know, stuff like that is just insane. It's the transit crew goes on and they find out ways to help out the voice in Samuel's head, Richtofen, further achieve his plan with controlling the zombies or something, or like fight off who supports who, because Maxis is like in the back. It gets a bit confusing, but why they're there kind of makes sense. It's probably on me for not understanding the lore a lot, but like it does make sense. Like I guess why they're listening to Stu, right? Stu's voice is what's guiding them through all that. Oh shit.
This is what it takes.
And so far in general, the people still like it, right? People didn't like the crew. Maybe the maps were bad. Transit was pretty bad on launch. It was perceived as bad. Because especially now that we know what it could have been, people were very disappointed by it. And it's like,
Using lethal.
like, it makes sense.
I'll see you in hell.
It does make sense why people don't like it.
Understood.
But no, we're going to this rant. I guess I'll probably do like a 2-hour long scripted video about what I'm talking about. But it's just insane. Like, I'll stop right there because I don't know. I think eventually I'm just gonna start rambling about something else. But the point is, like, what is a good zombies
Double core.
thing, right? Like, is it just like with Origins? Like, Shadows of Evil was like a great way to do it, right? I think that captured what people wanted from the future of zombies, and like zombies coming forward. Like, the characters were dope. Like, to me, the Transit Crew wasn't that bad. I didn't think they were, as much as I say there's no depth or whatever, they were pretty cool characters. Like, not bad characters. Like, and it made sense, right? Like, they're just survivors that are just trying to get by, right? Like, they have nothing else but to listen to, right? Maybe if we heard a bit more of their stakes and why they kind of had to, like, a bit more hostility towards Stu besides them just always hating on him. I don't know. Like, it makes sense why no one in the group is like, it's because they all just met each other. It's really hard for them to really build that trust and see if really how far that trust will go. So I thought they were alright. But the thing,
Do I look like somebody you'd want to mess with?
I don't know, yeah, I'm just gonna stop. I was just saying, like, Shadows of Evil was really good, and I think that really set up the stepping stone. Like, that's like, repeat that, and like Mob of the Dead too. Like, do that, right? Mob of the Dead, and do Mob of the Dead and Shadows of Evil 10 times, and I think you'll have banger DLC maps. I think that's maybe that's how I shortened the video. It's just saying that. I only mention it now because the the OG like premise crew has been brought back, and I'm kind of like
Uh-oh. I can't feel my face.
it's hard to put a finger about how you feel about that. But, like, on the one hand, I could say like, oh, I'm like excited or happy about, I don't know. Like, I just don't know how to feel. It's like, I don't know. I'm not saying it's like the biggest like letdown. I'm like, I don't really care, but like, I guess I'm just interested in where they're gonna go with that. I don't know where they could possibly go with that. But as much as I would love the nostalgia bait to work or something, it's not like, cause I didn't like when BO4 happened. I was rooting for BO4. I was like one of the 5 people that was actually rooting for BO4. I liked the maps. I liked the Greek mythology and all that. I thought those were great starts, good maps. Probably probably the only like one of 2 people that liked it. That's when I was like, I was glad in the direction they were going in. Like, it just sucks to me that they kind of just went back to that. Because mind you, the story doesn't completely diswrite the fact that they'd come back, I think. Like, it doesn't completely write off, like, I feel like you should have known, right? Like, if Richtofen's back, the others are back. Like, that's just, I don't know. Like, I feel like from Cold War, I just knew, like, oh, they're gonna bring them back. There's no way. Like, that ending, like, when we saw it was Richtofen, like, yep, they're all coming back. Like, there's no way. But I don't know. We'll see how they deal with it.
This dance will be your last.
Dude, this is a horrible run. Just it's like so bad. Maybe if I started killing and like not talking. I hate those ones.
Rules and consequences.
The thing about I guess we're seeing, excited to see where they go, I guess. I liked zombies since I started playing it. Definitely BO1. I started playing it. I was pretty young playing BO1. I think I was too scared to start playing Kino because I was that young. I think I was so scared actually playing zombies that I only played Kino one time, and I think I just stopped playing because I was so scared because of the eerie silence of it. I was like, ugh, like I didn't want to play. I don't know why. Like starting that off like as a kid, I don't know why. I was just so scared of it. Is he bringing it back to life?
Fire sale.
How is it going in there?
But yeah, it's intriguing.
Just when I thought things were going our way.
At least, I guess. Very intriguing to see
Give me something good.
how
I'll kill you with my
What?
eyes closed.
doesn't count as a weapon, right? Okay. I was about to say.
And now we wait.
So much health.
Nice moves. Wow, that was very scary.
I guess I should just find a weapon and stick with it, because this is so stupid.
I moved in silence.
The thing... It's still... The round keeps going, even if these guys don't die, which is kind of crazy.
Throwing tactical.
Oh my god, I'm gonna die! Or not. But yeah. Guess I should go pack this. Wrong way. I'm thinking about it, I probably could just wrap up the whole video by just saying, make Bob of the Dead and Shadows maps 10 times and you'll be guaranteed to have shit. Oh, this isn't good.
My training with the Rascaroma prepared me for this.
That stupid zombie's still there. Jeez. Running. But yeah. I don't know. I guess they would take longer. Could you really produce that amount of high quality content there that often? Maybe not. Maybe not for free. Maybe, I don't know. Doesn't hurt to try. Okay. Does not hurt to try. That's why I feel like if it was, I don't know, maybe people would want Stable Crew. I don't know. What do people want? We'll never know. People don't even know what they want. That's what's cool. People don't know what they want. Oh my god. Why do I keep running in the same place?
I will get my revenge, even if it kills me.
Gobble Gum works.
Tangy.
Not bad. I think I should just train here because I have ammo box. I said I have an ammo box. I feel like you're almost forced to get a winner. Holy crap. Like what the flip, dude? Die.
That's Danya.
Jesus. How much points was that? Ah, crap. Okay. 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 I almost wanted to die. This is so stupid. This is stupid. Alright, I'm gonna die. This is not. This is like, don't do what I do. Obviously, keep trying, but Jesus Christ.
How's it going in there? Need a medic.
And I have to kill a zombie. Alright. Well, that was fun, I guess, while it lasted. But yeah. Yeah. That's all I have to talk about, I guess. Well, not really. But, gosh dang it. Alright. I just wanted to throw that out there for today. I guess we'll see what I talk. Maybe we'll talk about zombies more later. But yeah. I guess I'll see you later. Bye bye.